Take-Two's legal department has been very busy over the past year. First, they targeted modders that were doing remaster work for GTA 3 Vice City, the RE3 REVC projects, prior to the announcement of the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition. Then they went after another video game, It Takes Two, which won Game of the Year. The reason why Take-Two went after It Takes Two is because the name is similar to their company, as well as companies big and especially small that were guilty of just happening to have the name Rockstar, except Rockstar Energy Drinks for some reason. I guess it's because they're worth a lot of money and probably have their own legal team to counter Take-Two. But smaller, bars that have the name Rockstar or Mafia, or anything that happens to be protected by Rockstar and Take-Two's IPs for all the games under Take-Two, Rockstar, 2K, etc. Take-Two has been threatening legal action against all these different businesses, big and especially small. And now Take-Two sets their sights on virtual reality. This is coming from my very good friend Carrick over at ACG. Check out his channel. He has great content. He is one of the best reviewers of video games on YouTube. Amazing channel, ACG. VR Modder LukeRoss got slammed with a DMCA takedown for GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Mafia, asking that he remove any copyright stuff from his Patreon. This does not appear to be related to videos, just icons, items, and such from his page. He is currently investigating. Now we'll mosey over to LukeRoss's official Twitter account, to Flat2VR. A sad day for Flat2VR modding community. Take-Two Interactive has submitted an anti-consumer DMCA request to remove all VR mods for their games, GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mafia, etc. Luke has always been extremely careful not to use any IPs in his mods. And this is, I guess, an official statement from LukeRoss on his Patreon. By the way, I will link Luke's Twitter below in the description section, as well as Carrick's channel, ACG, on YouTube. DMCA takedown notice for GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Mafia. I just received a DMCA takedown notice from Take-Two, parent company of Rockstar Games, 2K Games, in relation to Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mafia Definitive Edition. They are demanding that I remove their copyrighted works from my Patreon page. I immediately asked for clarifications, since it's my belief that I'm not hosting any such materials. As you all know, I do create and distribute original modifications for those games, i.e. original pieces of software for my own creation that allows users to experience those games in a different and hopeful, more intense and profound way. However, none of my modifications are built using software belonging to Take-Two, and these modifications are not intended to replace their games, nor are they a means of exploiting Take-Two's proprietary IP or assets. All my modifications require that users buy and own the game before they can add my modifications. I have no experience with DMCA notices. Well, Take-Two certainly does. So I don't know whether it will actually be possible to obtain clarification or to understand what material specifically Take-Two believes is in violation of their rights. To prevent unrelated discussions, please note that this will be filed as a copyright issue, not a licensing issue, so the motivation for the request does not appear to be related to the fact that there's money involved. I'm publishing this post first and foremost to keep you apprised of the situation, and secondarily to ask for your help in any case if you know of what channels I might use in order to get a better understanding of what Take-Two wants. Take-Two wants money, more money, control, and to stomp on the modding community when it comes to their games like GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mafia, or the OG GTA Trilogy. As I publicly stated many times, I honor and respect copyright, and my intention has always been to allow games to experience the wonderful worlds created by Rockstar and Take-Two, among other companies in virtual reality, which only translates to more consumer satisfaction and more copies sold for them. I don't sell or host anything exploiting or repurposing the original IP and assets, and my mods only work if the user already owns a legal copy of their original games. This is very similar to the OG trilogy when it it came to RE3 as well as REVC, because you had to actually own the original copies of 3 Vice City on PC in order to use RE3 as well as RE Vice City. That said, if I get no clarification from them allowing me to determine what they want removed, I will, of course, be forced to take down anything even remotely related to any product made or distributed by Take-Two, Rockstar, and 2K Games. Again, as I always said, if left in the dark, I can only err on the side of caution, and I will not risk other games being involved in the purge. In this case, if the Patreon elects to shut down my page, that means that all posts, games, guides, recommendations, tutorials, and above all my VR modes for GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mafia Definitive Edition, Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, Mafia 3 Definitive Edition will be taken down and no longer be accessible to download. I refuse to believe that this is what Take-Two Software wants. It probably is what they want. They want to push people around the modding communities on PC because they probably have future plans for VR mode. I think there's something they're working on with Facebook for a VR version of San Andreas. We haven't heard much about that recently, but there's always the possibility that if there's a future growth or interest in VR games, Take-Two wants full control over their IPs when it comes to VR versions of GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, as well as the Mafia franchise. And unfortunately, LukeRoss, Take-Two has proven time and time again to be extremely anti-consumer and extremely game-removed. In other words, this is nothing new when it comes to Take-Two. But I am not getting in a legal battle with them if what they want is to assert their corporate dominance with gamers' interests and collateral damage. I have no power to stop them, and that's unfortunately the ugly truth here, LukeRoss, and I'm sorry that this is happening to you, just like I'm sorry for what happened to the hardworking modders behind RE3, REVC, and anybody that was guilty of happening to have the name Mafia, Rockstar, the game It Takes Two as names in their games or businesses in the crosshairs of Take-Two Interactive, because they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They obviously have a team of lawyers that have nothing better to do than go after modders on PC and small businesses and bars and other companies, including a Game of the Year award-winning game from Hazelight Studios, It Takes Two, even though Takes Two and Take-Two are not the same thing. But from what I've heard about LukeRoss, and I'm not an expert when it comes to the VR or VR communities, I hear he's a pretty stand-up guy, and it's unfortunate that this crap is happening to him. He doesn't deserve this. And all the other PC modders out there that have tried to make their own awesome remasters of GTA 3, Vice City, other games that happen to be under the Take-Two umbrella are being put in the crosshairs by the legal team at Take-Two. And it's just nothing new when it comes to their practice of intimidation, the DMCA, threatening lawsuits, going after them. Because how can the average person, the average modder, most of the modders out there that make this content are doing so because they're passionate about these games, whether it's the Grand Theft Auto franchise, Red Dead, Mafia, etc. They're doing it out of a passion, and they're not really making any money out of it. And then you have this multi-billion-dollar corporation with huge pockets of legal department, most likely at their disposal and whim to go after these people with DMCAs and threats of lawsuits. And like I said a moment ago, yes, Take-Two is extremely anti-consumer and anti-gamer. They are, even though they're a gaming publisher that controls Rockstar, 2K, Hangar 13, a few other smaller studios as well, and several IPs out there, including NBA 2K. When it comes to video game publishers of scum and villainy, Take-Two is easily up there with Activision, Blizzard, as well as EA as the top 3 prime evils in the publishing gaming industry. For the record, I hope that LukeRoss is able to actually have some dialogue with somebody at the legal department of Take-Two, and they're able to resolve this issue, and Take-Two gets what they want, LukeRoss gets what he wants. And the VR modding community out there on PC for GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mafia do not suffer as a result of this latest DMCA attack by Take-Two against a VR modder. Unfortunately, if we go by history, especially with what happened to the modders of RE3 and REVC, it most likely won't end well. And going from virtual reality to a sad reality here, I feel like LukeRoss is ultimately going to have no choice but to take down anything remotely related to any products made or distributed by Take-Two, which includes Rockstar Games, 2K Games, Hangar 13, etc. PR isn't exactly in the name of Take-Two or Rockstar Games or 2K Games these days. Your thoughts, your views, and opinions, as always, welcome below in the comments section.